So do you have the experience? Do you know how to chain equipment up? Do you know how to secure this equipment? Another thing to think about, can you afford it? All right, family, Marco with Trucking the Cash Flow back with another video. And in this video, we're gonna go over trailers, all right? A lot of owner operators, they have issues with picking or knowing which type of trailer they should use, right? So we just went and picked up this extendable. This would be our second 4-axle setup, but this one is an extendable. So basically it's a 4-axle, it's 3 with a flip on the back, as you can see, and it does extend, right? This is an extendable, okay? RGN, 29 in the well, stretch out to 50 in the well, and this is your 3 axles. The one in the back stays off the ground, and this one flips down, and this hydraulic. We don't have to hook it up to no chains or anything like that. So we're gonna talk about this trailer, but we're also gonna talk about, let's walk over here to some of our other trailers, right? But we're also gonna talk about flatbeds, step decks, even Conestoga, right? Because a lot of people, they're trying to figure out which trailer should I get? Which should I run, the flatbed? Should I get the RGN? Should I get the step deck? Whatever like that, right? So like this is one of our Conestogas, okay? We got it parked right now. This is one, it's for sale by the way, so contact me if you want to purchase a Conestoga. But this is a Conestoga, right? For those of you that don't know what a Conestoga is, it's basically just a flatbed that has sides on it, and you can roll it from the front to the back and uncover it, and then you roll it right back, okay? A lot of drivers, they prefer to use a Conestoga because they don't have to tarp loads, right? They don't have to climb up on a load and put the tarps on it and take it off and these type of things, right? They can just pull the tarps from the front to the back, and that's it, right? So let's check out one of our RGNs right here, right? It's another one that we have, right? So this is basically a tandem axle RGN, right? So once again, I believe it's like 10 at the top, but this is a 29 in the well RGN, tandem axle, tandem meaning only 2 axles, right? Just 2. And then they have aluminum slide outs, which what happens is this slides out, comes out about right here, and makes the trailer wider on both sides, okay? We're renting this trailer, by the way. It's not for sale or anything. And then we also have a flatbed right here. All right, you know, this is a flatbed. It's a 53-102 flatbed with a spread axle, all right? You know, 53-102 flatbed with the spread axle. I believe you can slide this back axle and make it a tandem, slide it forward. So it has sliding axles on it, right? We're gonna talk about all this in this video, but I just want y'all to look at these trailers to get a visual of what you're dealing with, right? And here we have a drop deck. This is a buddy of mine trailer. This is not mine, but you know, it kind of parks in the same area. But this is a step deck. I don't have, our step decks are on the road right now, so I don't have one of my own to show you. But this is a step deck, right? Basically like a flatbed, right? But it drops down 1 level, and this is a step deck, okay? Spread axle, right? So it's a little lower, as you can see. This is the flatbed right here, right? On this level. And then this is the step deck on this level, all right? So this is a 48, I believe. Or maybe it's a 53. Maybe it is a 53, I can't tell. Yeah, it's a 53. 53-foot step deck, right? Once again, look how tall this flatbed is to my shoulder, right? So some guys, older guys or females or anybody, right? They might not want to have to jump on top of this trailer all the time and deal with tarps and stuff like that, right? So they might want to do the step deck, right? Look how low the step deck is, kind of almost to my waistline, you know what I mean? And then the drop deck, right? Which, I mean, not the drop deck, the RGN, right? The RGN, check this out. The RGN is way low, right? Like, look how low it is. You have to go almost to it's lower than my knee. You know, when you hook up to the truck and you have it, it's basically 18 inches off the ground, right? But this is gonna be for more equipment. You know, it detaches in the front, right? So you can run equipment up on it, drive it on. This whole piece comes off. And when this piece comes off, bam, you run that equipment up, and that's how you use that trailer. So now that we've seen and we've taken a look at the trailers, right? Well, which one is for you? Which one should you get? Which one is, you know, perfect for you? Are you a beginner? You know, have you been in the game a while? Are you a lease operator? Are you an owner operator? Are you a regular driver, right? You know, that's what we're gonna talk about in this video, and we're gonna clear that up and see if we can help some people today. So stay tuned, let's get straight into the information part. All right, so now that we took a look at the trailers, right? Flatbed, step deck, RGN, even a Conestoga. So let's get into, well, which one is for you, right? Maybe you're an owner operator and you're trying to figure out, okay, and you're trying to get into the open deck space, and you're trying to figure out, like, should I get a flatbed? Should I get an RGN? Should I get a step deck? Should I get a Conestoga, right? Or maybe you're looking to get into being an owner operator and get into the open deck space, and you're trying to figure out which one. Well, a couple things, you know, we can go over to figure out which one is best for you. And some of the things that I've been through that kind of helped me make the decisions on which trailer to use, even for myself, right? Even, you know, by having drivers, right? Some drivers, you know, they like certain trailers, and some drivers want certain trailers, but they don't have certain capabilities to even pull certain trailers, right? First thing first, right? At the top of the list, the very first thing that you need to think about and ask yourself is, do you have the experience, right, for these different trailers, right? If you're looking to get that RGN, because let's just, you know, face it, everybody wants to go specialize, and they want that RGN trailer. They want to look cool with that equipment, with the oversized banners on the front, on the back, with the red flags, and even have an escort in front of them guiding them through, and or a chase car in the back, or both, or whatever, right? I know, because it's cool, right? It's actually a cool thing to do, and it's cool in trucking, right? So it is what it is. I understand that, right? I like doing it myself, right? But just for me personally, I've been in the trucking business for a long time, so I'm more to like consistency and actually making money. I do like to do the cool stuff, but I mean, money's cool to me. So I mean, hey, I'm in business to make money, so I'm more leaning to the business side of things and making money. So anyway, so do you have the experience, right? You want this RGN, but have you done a flatbed maybe, or a step deck possibility, right? Possibly, right? Do you know how to chain equipment up? Do you know how to secure this equipment? Do you understand what goes into running oversized loads, right? All these things. So maybe a flatbed, you know, to start out with would be better, right? Or possibly a step deck would be good to start out with, right? Another thing to think about, can you afford it? This is a big one, right? Like, a lot of people, they want to get into this specialized freight game, and they go buy these trailers or rent these trailers or lease these trailers. My advice to you is to lease the trailer first, or rent it, right? I wouldn't go buy it first, right? You know, you can buy a truck, but when it comes to trailers, don't get so, first of all, don't get attached to none of this equipment, right? If it makes sense and the numbers make sense, right, for ownership, or to buy, you know, to own, then do that. But don't get emotional with getting this equipment, all right? It's just a tool, okay? It's just a tool to make money, and certain tools help you make more money, right? If you was a contractor or like a handyman, right? Well, the guy who has a pair of pliers and a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver probably is gonna make less than the guy who has drills and power tools and a bunch of other stuff, right? So, you know, look at these trucks the same way. It's because it's the same way, right? When brokers and shippers are looking for people, they just want to know, can you do the job that they're asking you to do? They don't care about how much you're paying for the equipment. They don't care about how cool it is. They don't care about how it looks, typically, right? I mean, definitely pull up to a shipper or receiver looking as good as possible, you know, just for branding purposes. But anyway, so yeah, look, don't get attached to this equipment. So, you know, get what you need to make the money and go make the money. So, can you afford it? The RGNs, like I have one that I'm paying right at $2,000, and then I have another one that I'm paying about $335. I would have to go check. $300 to $3,500 a month, right? Per trailer, right? The deposit when you rent them is typically gonna be anywhere from that $2,500, $5,000 range. Even a step deck with ramps, because you get the ramps, they want about $3,000 deposit, right? So that's something to think about, versus I can get a flatbed all the way down to $700 a month, right? That's a big difference from $2,000 and $3,500 a month. That's a big difference, right? So you definitely want to think about that. Another kind could be with that specialized trailer, could be you're sitting more, right? You're not constantly bumping and moving with freight. Can you sit if need be? Can you hold out? Can you sit, right? A flatbed and a step deck, you're probably gonna always have loads. You get what I'm saying? Now, they might not be paying the best all the time, but you would always be able to pull a load. You get what I'm saying? Because they're always around. But the more you go specialized, the less loads you're gonna have. Yes, they're gonna pay more, and they're supposed to pay more, right? I'm saying supposed to, because not all the time they're gonna pay more, right? It is what it is. Brokers don't pay, and you know, they just don't pay. Shippers too, they just don't pay what is supposed to be paid all the time. So you just gotta deal with that when that time comes and you encounter that issue. But can you sit? Can you sit a couple of days? Can you sit a week, right? Sitting a couple of days or a week with a $700 a month flatbed payment versus a $1,000 a month RGN bill, well, that's different, right? You know, 700, what is that, like, I don't know, 700 divided by 4, whatever that is, you know, 100, 200 bucks versus like 750 a week. That's a big difference, right? Something to think about, right? So like, can you afford it? Can you afford to sit? Are you willing to deadhead versus the flatbed? The flatbed step deck will actually have loads probably right around you. You can pick up at any time. When I say any time, meaning, you know, 8 to 5, not too many appointments, whatever. And then you're gonna have loads within probably 20 to 100 miles of you with the RGN, especially the more axles you have, you know, depending on what you got in the well, the more specialized this trailer is, then you're mostly looking for specialized loads, not general freight. The flatbed and the step deck is gonna pull more generalized freight more than the RGN, all right? So like the RGN, you're probably gonna have to deadhead further to pick up a load versus a flatbed. Step deck versus flatbed, right? Well, it depends on if you're going after flatbed only loads and step deck only loads. Flatbed only loads, and when I say only, meaning it requires a flatbed, you can't pull it with nothing else. The flatbed only load and the step deck only load, they make just about the same thing. The step deck only load sometimes can pay more because it can haul taller loads, right? They both kind of can pay about the same, right? The Conestoga only loads pay a lot. They actually do. They really pay a lot. But sometimes you're not gonna really see those, right? Now, this is a big thing. What do you like to run? What is the area in the country do you like to run, right? RGN loads, typically you'll do good running around the ports, hauling equipment, stuff like that. With any open deck freight, right? You know, flatbed, step deck, RGN, Conestoga. Conestogas do really great Midwest, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, a little bit of PA, kind of Tennessee. Why is that? That's where a lot of your metal's gonna be, coils, steel beams, stuff like that. You know, they'll ask for Conestoga only, right? So you'll do really good with, you know, a Conestoga in those areas. So you know, you got to think about what kind of experience you have. Can you afford it? What areas are you looking to run with these trailers? And can you be able to withstand sitting if need be? Because when rates are fluctuating and they dropping or whatever, you don't want to have to be pressed to have to run freight, right? In my opinion, I would say definitely if you're a beginner and you've never dealt with, you know, open deck freight, start off with a flatbed, right? Like start off with a flatbed, learn how to secure, learn how to tarp, learn how to deal with this, right? And work your way up, you know, work your way up to a step deck, you know, even a Conestoga, right? But work your way up to a step deck, start hauling more taller loads, oversized loads. Oversized does good no matter what trailer it's on, whether it's a flatbed, step deck, RG and double drop, whatever. Oversized does really good. So I would say, you know, start with the flatbed, and you can make good money with oversized loads. It doesn't matter what trailer that you're pulling, right? But start off with that, then work your way up to that RGN, double drop, you know, detach, and then multiple axles, get to the stretch and all these different things. Because when you start dealing with that, now you're dealing with permits, and you have to understand and learn permits. You have to know what states that you're gonna get these permits in, and you're gonna have to pay certain amount for these permits. You don't want to underbid a load, and then you get the load and now you're stuck with this load. You have to pay for these permits, and these permits are very, very expensive, and now you're stuck with these loads, right? So with that being said, hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you smash the like button, and we will definitely see you in the next video.